Okay, so my first question for you is, would you consider yourself to be a helicopter parent?
No, that's not how I consider myself to be at all.
Okay, so why do you consider yourself to be a more relaxed parent compared to someone who's more uptight and on top of me?
Well, I'm generally more a relaxed parent in the sense that I give my daughter a lot of leeway and flexibility with respect to her life. I let her live her life the way she wants to live it. I don't really get too involved unless I feel that there's something she may be doing that would harm her one way or the other. I trust her for the most part, and basically, as I said, I don't want to smother her or feel that I'm on top of her too much. That just would breed a lot of bad feelings on both sides.
So, how would you consider your parenting style, like just through the years, like since I was younger? Like, mom, for example, is always coming in my room, making sure I do my homework and on top of me and calling me, and our relationship is slightly different with communicating and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, my wife is more of a helicopter parent. She's, always, she's worried more about you than maybe I am. It's not to say that I don't worry. It's just my style is different. Um, Certainly I was maybe a bit of a helicopter parent when you were younger, but as you got older, I gave you more space, which I think comes with the territory of being older, where I trust you to be more adult, more mature, and make better decisions. So because of that, I don't feel that I need to be there every moment as maybe I did when you were 2 years old. But I'm always there as a backstop and in the background uh, in case I'm needed. And again, if I hear or feel that anything is happening, or you're doing something I think is ridiculous or stupid or whatever, I will get involved. But it has to get to that point.
Through the years, I feel like one of your main tactics as a parent is you feel that if I make a certain decision and it's a mistake, then that should be on me. Do you still follow through with this tactic, or have through the years since I'm older now, and I guess my situations that I'm put in are slightly different? Do you feel that you're not still using this tactic,
No,
or
I do. I mean, I do use that tactic. But again, if I feel you're doing something so ridiculous, yeah, whether it's something that's going to cost you money or harm or whatever, or any kind of bad result, I will get involved.
but you feel the need to only get involved if I reach out to you and ask you for help, compared to mom who just kind of butt in anyway?
No, I mean, if I sense something that's really bad on a scale, sort of use this internal scale, um, then I would definitely get involved. But I give you more rope than your mother does, yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. So, 38% of freshmen and 29% of seniors said that their parents have intervened on their behalves to solve problems, either very often or sometimes. Do you feel that I am part of this percentage? As in, like, many times nowadays, my generation is considered to have taken a step back. For example, like, since you're the parent and you're the moneymaker, you feel that you have to constantly intervene in my life and fix my problems, which has created a lack of self resilience for me and lack of confidence. Do you feel that I'm part of this statistic?
I could be certain if you're part of the statistic. I think as you've grown, you've become more self confident. But the problem with every generation, young generation, is that they think they know everything, and they have no concept of what's really out there and how much they will need to encounter and handle in their lifetime. And that's a product of maturation and growing up. As you get older and you encounter different things because you enter new parts of your life without any real experience. You may think you know everything, and you may think you know how to handle everything, but it's always best, I think, to reach out to somebody that's already has experienced many of the things you're going through. And even if you don't, the parent should be around to help you avoid maybe some of the pitfalls and problems that they encountered when they were young.
Do you feel growing up that your parents were the same as my situation? Like your father was more like you and your mother was more like my mother, or
Both my parents were pretty much
laid back?
laid back. Yeah.
Do you think that's made you more independent through the years, or would you have rather your parents been a little more involved in your life than they were?
I think they were involved when necessary. I mean, they certainly took care of all my basic needs. You know, housing, shelter, food, money, education, all that. But they trusted me, you know, and they, you know, not to say that every decision I made was a good one, but it never got to the point where it was out of hand, so they never really had to worry.
So most times you felt like you got yourself out of situations instead of having your dad get you out of a situation that you were stuck
It was a
in.
mix. I mean, I remember the story. I mean, if I banged the car, my father was there to help me and make sure, you know, take it to be fixed or pay for it and whatever. He was there for me if I needed some financial assistance with something or advice or a connection to get a job. I mean, he was there for me in those areas.
So do you agree that not intervening would create a more independent child compared to
No,
being
I think that there has to be some level of intervention. Not zero, not 100%, which would be too much. I think somewhere in the middle. You know, you have to give some space to your kid so they can learn on their own and develop that confidence and learn on their own how to handle situations. But you have to be there for them on an as needed basis.
right? So when you were, do you think that certain children would benefit more from a helicopter parent compared to others?
I don't think it's a benefit. I think it's a hindrance. I think that, and I've seen it from some of your friends, that they are so babied and coddled that I don't think that their parents are doing the proper job for them when the time comes that they will have to deal with the real world when their parents aren't really there for them or with them all the time. They still might be a phone call or text away, but it's not proper preparation. I mean, every subsequent generation has to learn how to deal with what the world throws at them. And yeah, it's good to some extent for the parent to be there, but you got to learn your own lessons, and you have to, you know, develop that thick skin and that experience and the savvy and the street savvy and all that. And if parents over baby you, you're never going to be ready for it.
Have you noticed in adults and people that you know that are around your age a sense of that they have been coddled throughout their life, or that everything was just given to them on a silver platter type of thing, like compared to you, for example, who has made your own fortune and done
Yeah.
it all for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of that out there, you know, where I live, where, you know, people who actually came back to live in the very same neighborhood they grew up in because their parents bought them a house and their parents want to be near them. And you know, a lot of these people are going to the family business and never really had to look for a job. They were given a job by their family and money and opportunity. So it's something that's always going to be around.
But do you feel that you would rather me, for example, make my own fortune that way and do it all on myself independently, or do you think people benefit more from just having it all handed to you and knowing your whole life that you're going to grow up and live a certain way because your parents have just done it all for you anyway?
I don't believe in handing things. I believe that even if I put you in a position where you can work for me in the company or whatever, that you should work and earn what you have. It's not to say I wouldn't help you or give you a head start. That's what a parent should do. But I certainly don't want to enable you to the point where you're totally reliant or dependent on me for each and every dollar that you have, and you don't learn the value of money.
Right. Looking back, if you had the opportunity to start everything over and you could pick between having parents who coddled you your whole life and handed everything to you on a silver platter compared to having parents who kind of gave you your independence and let you be who you wanted to be and just let you figure it out on your own, how would you go back in time and what would you pick?
Look, I would be lying to say if I said to you that I wouldn't love to have been given everything on one hand, but truthfully, I know people who have and they're miserable because they have no sense of purpose. I have sort of a sense of pride in knowing that what I do have, I created on my own through hard work and diligence, and I think it's made me a better person. And yeah, listen, there are plenty of people my age who basically have tons more than I have because they were given to them. But I'm very thankful for what I do have, and I'm proud of what I've made on my own and accomplished.
Right. And is there anything that you think I haven't covered throughout this interview that you'd like to still go over?
No, I think we've covered it. I mean, I do feel that, that's why I like Donald Trump, because for as much money as he has, he still treats his kids like he doesn't have money, made them work, made them understand the value of a dollar. And if you look at who his kids are, they're all pretty smart and well trained and successful in their own right.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay.